Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah, nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een wa man tamassaka bisunnatihi ila yawmiddin. Thumma amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah ala ni'mat al-Islam wa sunnah. All praise and thanks belong to Allah for guiding us to Islam and for guiding us to the sunnah. حدثني جماعة من الشيوخ بإسناد كل إلى سفيان بن عيينة عن عمرو بن دينار عن أبي قابوس عن عبد الله بن عمرو بن عاص رضي الله تعالى عنهما أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: الراحمون يرحمهم الرحمن ارحموا من في الأرض يرحمكم من في السماء. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in this tremendous hadith, what translated means, and that those who are merciful, they will be shown mercy by the most merciful. Be merciful and show mercy to those who are in the earth, and the one who is above the heavens, he will show you mercy. The ulama, they mentioned in pointing out some benefits from this hadith and some takeaways we get from this hadith. The ulama, they mentioned, they say that it can be an ilm rahmah. This is because knowledge is mercy. نتيجته رحمة في الدنيا وغايته رحمة في الآخرة. The results of knowledge is mercy in this world, and the ultimate goal of knowledge is mercy in the hereafter. We continue going over the tremendous hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That hadith has been collected on the authority of Ibn Umar, or narrated on the authority of Ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, and collected by Imam al-Bukhari in his collection of authentic hadith, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Kun fi dunya ka'annaka gharib aw 'abidu sabil." Be in this world as if you are a stranger or a traveler passing through. قال العلامة فضيلة الشيخ محدث المدينة الشيخ عبد المحسن العباد البدر حفظه الله تعالى, as relates to the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Kun fi dunya ka'annaka gharib aw 'abidu sabil." Be in this world as if you are gharib or 'abidu sabil. The Shaykh is going to explain what each of those terms mean so that we have a better understanding. The Shaykh, he mentions, he says, قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابد السبيل. الغريب, the definition of غريب, هو المقيم في غير بلده لقضاء حاجته أو حاجة. He said, then this is a person who is residing in other than his land. This is a person who he is staying for a period of time in a land that is not his. So he's outside of his country, he's outside of his city, he's outside of his state, province, so on and so forth. This person who is traveling and he is not currently staying or residing in his land or in his state or in his province, so on and so forth. Naam. Why is he there? لِقَضَاءِ حَاجَةٍ, to fulfill a need. He's there because he has to take care of some business. He's there because he needs something from there, be it medical treatment or the like, whatever that need may be. He's there for a purpose. He's not there lollygagging. He's not there gallivanting. He's not there for anything outside of. He has to take care of some business there, take care of a need, and then that's it. So I just want you to reflect on the mind state and the mentality of a person who was in this situation, a person who is staying, residing for a temporary period of time in a place that is not their place, yani a land that's not their land, a town that's not their town, a country that's not their country, so on and so forth. Think of the mentality of this person. They're there for a purpose, they're there for a reason. So therefore, they're going to be mission-driven, purpose-driven, to take care of their business and that which has brought them to this particular land. So they're not going to be greatly invested in that particular land, in that particular place, town, province, and or borough, whatever the case is, because what? It's not theirs. Now, this is not theirs. This is not their hometown and the like. The Shaykh he mentions, he says, يَسْتَعِدُّ لِمُغَادَرَةٍ. They are preparing what? To leave. They are preparing themselves to leave. ذَلِكَ مَتَى تَمَكَّنَ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. They're preparing to leave whenever it is they are able and capable of leaving. Now, this is the relationship. They're not invested in this place. They're there to take care of something, and then what? They're going to leave at the earliest possibility. Now, they're going to go back home, go back to their family, go back to their house, go back to their bed, so on and so forth. Now, they're going to leave as soon as possible. So what? So they can get back home, they can get back to where they're most comfortable. This is the gharib. This is what is intended here by gharib, a stranger. Naam, a stranger, the person who is a stranger, meaning they're traveling, they're a stranger, they're not. This is not their place. Okay. Or the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Abiru sabil." So be in this world as if you are gharib. We've already went over what is gharib. Okay. Or abiru sabil. What is abiru sabil? Abiru sabil, and he is what? Al-musafir. الذي يمر بالبلاد مرورا دون إقامة. A person that is a traveler, he's traveling through the land, but he's moving through it in a manner in which he is not taking up any type of long-term residency in it. Naam. So the Shaykh he mentions, he says, دون إقامة بها حتى ينتهي من سفره. He's traveling through a land, going through it in a manner in which he is not staying there for any considerable period of time. He's just passing through until what? Until he completes his travel. Now, until he completes his travel. These are the examples that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he mentioned. Now, the one who was gharib, the one who is a stranger, now, then you will see that what? He is one who was also traveling. They are also traveling. The one who was gharib, the one who was a stranger, he is one who was also traveling. So I want you to, although it is translated often as what? Gharib. Gharib is translated as stranger, excuse me. It's translated as stranger. Naam. But I want you to understand from this standpoint that yes, it is a stranger, but stranger from what's from what angle, from what direction? He is a stranger because he is a traveler. Now, so in both of these cases, the individual is a traveler. He's in a place that's not his. He is in an abode that is not his permanent abode. He is in a place that is not his place of real and true residency. Okay? So the one who is gharib, he's a stranger, yes, but he's also what? A traveler. He's a traveler. So what is the difference between this one who was gharib, meaning traveler, right? Stranger, traveler, and abiru sabil, also a traveler, and this is often translated as a traveler passing through. A traveler passing through. What is how can we better understand these two terms and concepts? If you go somewhere on a business trip, I'm giving this as an example so we can better understand these concepts. If you go somewhere on a business trip, right? And that business trip will require you to stay for a number of weeks inside of a particular place. This will be more in line with what? With gharib here in this particular narration. Now, so you are a traveler, right? But what? But you're there for a period of time. You're there for what? Some weeks or maybe a month. You're doing some business, right? So you're there for a month or you're there for 3 weeks. So in that time frame, you have to what? You have to have a room. You have to, or a place to stay, right? You're going to be developing a daily habit and routine while you're there, ordering from certain places, eating at certain places, right? Or if you have some type of area to cook in that particular place, then you will cook in that place. But the point is that what? Is that you're not going to fill the pantries. You're not going to fill the refrigerator. You're going to buy what you need, cook what you need, and or take out and eat what you need, and that's it. Because you know that as soon as this business deal is over, you're leaving, right? So if it takes the full duration of the original itinerary to take care of the business the full 3 weeks, then you're going to be there for full 3 weeks. But it's always understood that if I can finish this deal in 2 weeks, I'm out of here in 2 weeks. If I can finish this deal in a week, I'm out of here in a week. I mean, that's always understood, right? So therefore, you live and your stay there will be in a manner that is conducive to what? To your business trip and the overall intention of leaving as quick as you can. That makes sense? So this would be more in line with gharib, stranger. Naam, so we can better understand this hadith. Whereas Abidus Sabil, the Sheikh he mentioned, this is a person who he is going through the lands in a manner in which does not involve staying for any considerable period of time. This, so we can better understand, will be like a person who is, or a person who has a layover. A person who has a layover. Naam. So they're traveling from country to country, and between these two flights, there is a layover. Whether that layover is in hours, right? Like 1 or 2 hours, then there's no problem. 1 or 2 hours, you're not even going to leave the airport. Or whether that layover is, for example, for a half of a day, 12-hour layover, 14-hour layover. Now, in those type of layovers, you may leave the airport. The airline may afford you a room, right? Maybe a meal, so on and so forth, right? But you're there for what? I'm only here for about 14, 15 hours, and then I'm out of here. I'm only here for about 5 hours. I have a 5-hour layover, and then I'm out of here, right? So this will be more in line so we could better understand with what Abidus Sabil. You never take any type of residency in that place because you're only there for a few hours. So you're just passing through. You're just on a layover. The Prophet ﷺ, he is telling us that this should be how we are in the dunya. As a person who is a stranger, meaning what? A stranger, a traveler, just staying somewhere for a short period of time, or a person who is just on a layover passing through it. This should be our relationship and our connection to the dunya, that we're just like a person on a business trip or a person on a layover. That's how we interact with the dunya. So we take from it what we need. No doubt about it. If you're on either the two, be it a layover or be it a temporary stay, you're going to get what you need. So if you need something to drink, you're going to get something to drink. You need something to eat, you're going to get something to eat. You're going to get those things that you need for the time being. If you have to use the restroom, right? So on and so forth. If whatever the case is, whatever you need, you need. You can get some snacks, even some things you don't necessarily need, but you like to have it, you'll get it. No problem. No problem. But the point is that what? You never are fully committed to it because you realize I'm just here for a period of time, a short period of time. This is not my real home. This is not my final destination. I'm just passing through. I'm just here to do these little bit of things and then I'm back. I'm back home. This should be our connection to the dunya, how we treat the dunya. We take from it what we need now, and it's okay to take some things that you want. That's halal. Now, to take some things you want, that's halal. You understand? So, like, for example, you have to eat food. No doubt about it. You have to eat food. Do you have to eat snacks? You don't have to eat snacks. Would you die if you don't eat snacks? If you don't have some cake, have a piece of pie, have some ice cream, you're going to die? No, now you're going to die, right? So is it wrong to have snacks? No, it's fine. You can have some snacks. You can have some things that you want. You don't necessarily need them, but you want them. But it's okay. As long as it's halal. As long as it's halal, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. But what is the difference is that what? Your heart is not connected to these things. You see? Your heart is not connected to these things. So there's no problem with taking from the dunya what you need and taking from the dunya some things that you want. But your heart is not connected. Just like the heart of the man on a business trip is not connected to that place that he's staying in to do his business. Just like the heart of the person who is on a layover is not connected to the land in which he is staying, his layover is in. Okay? It's not connected. This is how we are to be in the dunya, disconnected from it. A part of it, doing what we need to do in it, but not connected to it like that. The Shaykh, he goes on to mention, he says, وَدَارُ الْغُرْبَةِ وَالْعُبُورِ. He said the place of strangeness and the place of what, like the that you're passing through. نعم. وعروب السبيل في هذا الحديث هي الدنيا. And the place of strangeness and the place where you are staying for the duration of the layover here in this hadith is the dunya. It's the dunya, this world, this worldly life. So this worldly life in reality, and I want you to think about this, right? In reality, this worldly life is exactly as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam described it. It is a temporary abode. This is not our home. It's a temporary abode. This is not our real place of residency. This is temporary lodging, temporary residency only. Or what? Or this is just a station that we are on a layover in. This is just our place that we are on a layover while we are en route to our final destination. That's the only thing this dunya is. That's the only thing this dunya is. Because we are not going to be here forever. We're not going to live forever. This is not our real home. The home that we're in is not going to be our forever home. It's a home that we will be in for a certain matter of time. Whether that is according to your rental lease or if you have purchased a home until what? Until you get another home or until you die. But either way, you're not going to be there forever. Either way, this is not your permanent stay. Either way, you're going to move on from here and go somewhere else. This is the reality of the dunya. Now, so we're either here like people on a business trip or we're here like people just on a layover. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. This is the reality of the dunya. So this is how we should treat it. We should interact with it based on what it is, not what we imagining or what we desire for it to be and so on and so forth, not due to some type of delusions. No, on what it really is. It's a layover. It's a place we come to take care of some business. Now, for the believer, what's the business? What's our business here? What's our business? This is our business trip, right? We in the dunya. It's our business trip. What's our business here? To get good deeds. To believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to get good deeds so that we can build our home, our real home in the hereafter. So that we could strive to be in high places in Jannah. This is our purpose here, to get good deeds. This is for the believer, the one who has intelligence. Now the one who is unintelligent, the one who is intellectually deficient, then this is a person that will squander their opportunity and they will squander what? Their hereafter and their real abode. Because in the hereafter, we have two options. We have the Jannah, that's one. The second option is what? The hellfire. Either Jannah or hellfire. One or two. There's no third. We're either going to go here forever or we're going to go here forever. That's it. So the one who's intelligent, they put their effort into what? Into striving to go to the Jannah. Those are the successful. Those who are unintelligent, they get deluded by the place of the layover. They get confused and deluded and caught up in the town or the land in which they're supposed to be conducting their business in, thinking that this is their forever home, where it is not. You're just here for a little bit. You're not even a citizen. You're just here for a little bit of time. Then you're out of here. They get caught up. They don't realize it. So on their layover, right? And I want you to really look at how nonsensical this is. If a person was in a place for a business trip, right? Not a citizen of the country, they got no real rights, and to the end of it, right? And then they were telling you, I want to buy some land and I want to build this and you will look at them like they're crazy. What are you talking about? You're only here for like 3 weeks. You talking about you're going to buy land. You're not even a citizen. You don't even have a lot of rights like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. When you talk about buying land and getting investment property and you're you just here for 3 weeks. What do you mean? That doesn't make sense. Okay. How more absurd a person on a layover? They're on a layover walking through the airport saying to themselves, you know what, I'm gonna buy some land here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And they're only there for a few hours. Makes no sense. Either way, it makes no sense. You will look at them and say, "This, you're intellectually deficient. What's wrong with you? This doesn't even make sense." It would make more sense that you invest, take whatever you want to invest and invest it back home where you really live at. To invest where you stay at, where your home place is at, where your hometown is at, your home country, that you invest there, the place that you're gonna be at. So how much more so is it nonsensical for an individual to invest everything, put all of his eggs into the basket of the dunya when he's gonna die anyway, where she's gonna die anyway? So no matter what they're able to amass, you're going to be separated from it anyway by death. So what sense does it make to put all your eggs in the basket of the dunya? It makes no sense. It's nonsensical. It's irrational. It for the rational mind, the only real option is to what? Is to invest in your hereafter while making your stay in the dunya comfortable. That's it. You make your stay comfortable, that's fine. But put all my eggs in this basket, that don't even make sense. I'm not gonna be here but forever. I'm not gonna be here forever. So I while I'm here, okay, yeah, while I'm here, I'll benefit, but I'm not investing everything into this. I'm gonna invest the bulk, the lion's share of my investment where? In the hereafter, because that's where my forever is. That makes sense. This is how we ought to treat this dunya. This is the most excellent example that could be given for this dunya. We just here as a traveler, or we just here on a layover. That's it. Anyway, the abode that we are traveling through and on a layover in, right? And you see traveling, layover, they the same, and they both come together, but we understand two different aspects, and as we look at them two different angles, we understand two different aspects from them, but it's all the same thing. We just traveling through, we pass, and we're not here forever. But so where are we traveling to? وَالسَّيْرُ فِيهَا لِلْآخِرَةِ, and the traveling in it is towards the hereafter. We're going towards the hereafter. نعم. وذلك إنما يكون بتذكر الموت. So how are we able to accomplish this? How are we able to interact and be in the dunya as if we are just a traveler or just a person who's on a layover? How are we able to do this? The Shaykh he mentions, and listen, this is the way of Ahlul Sunnah. They give you solutions. Ahlul Sunnah, they give you solutions. They just don't throw things out there and leave it for you to figure it out. Nope. Ahlul Sunnah, they give you solutions. So the Shaykh he mentions, how do we do this? How do we interact in this dunya as if we just here on a business trip or just on a layover? The Shaykh he mentions, he says, ذَلِكَ إِنَّمَا يَكُونُ بِتَذَكُّرِ الْمَوْتِ. That is you could be accomplished by remembering death, by remembering that we are going to die and we are not here forever. This is a temporary station. Okay? The Shaykh he mentions, he says, وَالْقَصْرُ الْأَمِلِ, and by not having long, drawn out, unrealistic hopes. Now, person living his life as if they're going to live for 1,000,000 years. You know how many people live like that? They live their life, they're going to live for 1,000,000 years. You memorize the Quran, brother? Yes, when? Inshallah. Inshallah, when? You act like you're going to live for 1,000,000 years. Procrastinating when it comes to our hereafter. When it comes time to do something good for the hereafter, procrastinating, leaving it. Well, when you got a chance to do it, you act like you're going to live for 1,000,000 years, that you're just going to have it like that. Oh, when I get old, I'll be better. You may not get old. You may die young. Then what? Oh, when I finish school, I get better. You know how many people die and they don't finish school? Right? Oh, when I get married, I get better. You know how many people die single? They don't never get married. You understand? People living their life always putting off the hereafter, putting off the action of the hereafter until as if they're going to live forever. They're going to live, act like they're going to live for 1,000,000 years. Allah musta'an. So, by not being like that, by attacking life as by attacking life, by realizing it is what it is. It's short and it's running away from you. It's fleeting. It's short and fleeting, running away from you. Time is running out. You know, they got the time clock and it ticks down, to zero. Yeah, we about to tick down to zero. No more time left. That's it. Then it's it. You dead. So they live in accordance. They live with this sense of urgency, knowing that hereafter is coming to them. This world's leaving. Hereafter is coming. That which is coming is close. Okay. So they don't have these long and drawn out hopes, living like they're gonna live forever, or living like they're gonna live for 20 million years or what have you. Also, how do we accomplish this? واستعداد فيها للآخرة is that we prepare for the akhirah. So we here in the dunya, all right, but I'm going to prepare for the akhirah because I know it's coming. I know that's why I'm really, that's my real forever, right? And that forever can either be in Jannah and bliss, or that forever can be in punishment and torment. There's no middle. It's this or that, okay? No third option, either Jannah or hellfire. So they live in preparing for what they really want. The smart person wants the Jannah. The fool say he wants Jannah, but he lives like he's trying to go to hell. The smart person say he want the Jannah and live trying to get there. Say he want heaven and live his life trying to get to heaven. That's the smart person. Anyway, the Shaykh goes on, he mentions, he says, and they prepare for the hereafter. How? Bil a'mal as-salihah, by doing righteous good deeds. That's how they prepare for the hereafter, by doing righteous good deeds. The Shaykh, he says, كما قال الله سبحانه وتعالى, just as Allah Ta'ala, he says, وتزودوا, and take your provisions. تزودوا وتزودوا, take your provisions, take what you need. Get, how can I put this? If you traveling, right, and you got to get the provisions you need for your journey, so you're going to make sure you pack your clothes, right? You're going to make sure you have your traveling documents. You're going to make sure, you bring some snacks, some food with you, some water, some drinks, whatever the case is, some sandwiches, right? Depending upon the method and the manner in which you're traveling, you're going to make sure you have what you need for that travel, right? You're going to make sure you have what you need for that travel, so that when you're traveling, when you're traversing, you have what you need at the time that you're traveling and traversing. So remember, we're in the dunya. We got to travel. We got to traverse throughout the dunya. So you have what you need. You have what you need, and you concentrate on having what you need. It's no problem. It's what you're supposed to do. You understand? But the point is that what? Ultimately, you have to make sure you have what you need for your ultimate destination. The ultimate destination is where? Is the hereafter. So what do you need for the hereafter? You have to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to submit yourselves unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to do that which Allah ta'ala has commanded you to do, and stay away from that which Allah ta'ala has commanded you to stay away from. You have to fulfill the obligations and stay away from the prohibitions. And you have to increase in tawbah when you slip up and fall into the prohibitions. These are from, in general, in a nutshell, the things that you need for the hereafter. You have to increase. You have to do the obligatory. You have to do the recommended. You have to strive and increase so that you can have those castles and those mansions and those lofty places of residence inside of the Jannah. So you can have all of the palm trees and so on and so forth. You can have acres and acres and hundreds of millions of acres of palm trees in the Jannah by making the adhkar, making the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person, he's going to strive and invest in his hereafter, because he knows that, listen, when I get there, things have to be set up. I have to be, so this is how they strive. So all of these things will be things that you need for your journey. These are going to be things that you need for your journey. Things that you need while you're traveling through, and things that you need to put in motion so that when you get there, it's prepared for you. This is a smart person. In other words, I'm trying to say is like this. Does anybody get out there and they travel to a far place? They go to a whole nother continent, right? And then they don't bring any money with them. They don't bring any food with them. They don't bring anything with them. And on top of that, they make no arrangements for where they're going to stay once they get there. Does anyone do that? No. You say this person something's wrong with him if you're trying to do something like that. If a person trying to do something like that, you say something's wrong with him. You done came all the way over here. You don't got no money for a hotel room. You have no money for a hostel to stay anywhere. You have no plans, and you left your country all the way over there and came all the way over here like that. Something's wrong with you. Something's not right with your brain. So a person that's smart, what? Not only does he have what he need through the duration of the travel, but he has also prepared some things so that once he gets there, he's okay. He has a place to stay. Yeah, he has a car rental, whatever the case, whatever he needs when he's there, he has it. This is what we're supposed to do. So now let's go back to this verse. Allah Ta'ala, he says, وَتَزَوَّدُوا. So take your provisions. Get what you need for the journey and get what you need for the destination. Allah Ta'ala, he goes on to say, فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. And the best provision is taqwa. To have taqwa in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by fulfilling the obligations and staying away from the prohibitions. Now, by fulfilling the obligations and staying away from the prohibitions. This is the best provision we can have, the best preparation we could make for our hereafter. The Shaykh, he mentions, he says, وَقَدْ ذَكَرَ الْبُخَارِ فِي الصَّحِيحِ, and that Imam al-Bukhari, he mentions inside of his collection of authentic hadith, عن علي رضي الله تعالى عنه أنه قال, that verily Ali رضي الله تعالى عنه, he used to say, ارتحلت الدنيا مدبرة وارتحلت الآخرة مقبلة. He said that verily the dunya is running away from you and the akhirah is running towards you. وَلِكُلِّ وَاحِدَ مِنْهُمَا بَنُونَ. And each one of these destinations or each one of these things has its people. The dunya has its people and the akhirah has its people. So Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he went on to say, فَكُونُوا مِنْ أَبْنَاءِ الْآخِرَةِ وَلَا تَكُونُوا مِنْ أَبْنَاءِ الدُّنْيَا. So be from the children of the hereafter and don't be from the children of this dunya, to the end of his statement. However, because I would really like to spend some time on the tremendous statement so we can really reflect and contemplate over it, we're going to leave that until the next time and stop at this part. فنكتفي بهذا القدر وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وجزاكم الله خيرا.